Good morning. Welcome to CDT day 104. Actually had an excellent sleep last night. Once I got into bed and all tied up and everything with the sleeping bag, it was super warm. And it's really warm this morning too. So last night just kind of felt like an enigma, really. It's just freezing cold almost immediately. As right after sundown, it just felt like it dropped into the mid 30s, maybe even low. So we're just drying the condensation off of our tents, taking it easy this morning, having some hot chocolate. I have a Carnation Instant Breakfast to throw in there for a little bit of nutrition, and then just eating some peanut butter M&Ms. I'm not very good at breakfast, so I might get something else like a little bit of protein. I might have one of these Slim Jims or something like that. Either way, the plan for the today is to go to Big Sandy Lodge, which is just off of the CDT, about 22 miles from here. They close at 8, so we need to get these 22 miles in before like 7 p.m., maybe 6 p.m. would be better. So we're going to be leaving here within the next hour, hour and a half, and making those miles. So right now it's around 9 o'clock. So we're hoping to get out of here by like 10:30 at the latest. We also have some new drama, as we seem to every day. Pretty decent looking storms coming in, so it looks like we might be running into a little bit of trouble. Luckily our tents are still set up, so if this becomes an issue in the next hour or so, then we'll just have to duck back in and waste some more time waiting out the weather. Well, sure enough, the rain is coming down, so chilling in the tent waiting for that. Luckily I have some things I can do in the meantime, so I need to repair my pants. I don't know if it was hopping over one of the barbed wire fences or getting caught on a branch or something like that, but I have this rip right in the knee, and it's not huge by any means, but since it's on the knee, a place where I bend a lot, this could easily rip my pants apart entirely. So I'm going to sew them. So I have sewing needle, and for thread I use dental floss, because it has dual purpose. I can floss before brushing my teeth, but I can also use it to sew things, and it's pretty strong and thick and should work out pretty well. So I double it up and tie a knot in the end, and then I'm just gonna sew it through the knee and get it all repaired. So it's not gonna be the most beautiful thing in the world, but it'll keep this from ripping, and that's all I really care about at this time. Well, definitely not the perfect sew job, probably not even a good one, because I have some tension points in the creases, but it is strong, is held together, and not a lot of the floss is showing. So the idea was to go from the inside and pinch those pieces together and sew them from the inside so that you see the least amount of thread as possible. So, but that's going to hold strong, shouldn't come apart at all. Dental floss is pretty thick stuff and holds pretty strong when you use it as thread. So I'm not terribly worried about it. But yeah, that'll give me repairs so that I don't have to worry about ripping that open again, and I should be good to go. Alright, 11 a.m. Sunday, August 11th. And I'm just leaving the campground and on the move. There are tons of blowdowns through here, and yet I don't have to climb any of them, because this trail maintenance is amazing. Loving the Wind River Range so far. I am currently in the Bridger Wilderness of Bridger Teton National Forest. Here's a little bit of a better view of the lake down below. The mountains up in there. It's really nice. Alright, so I just realized that I screwed up. Apparently there's a very easy to miss junction on the trail. The trail splits off, CDT goes right, this other little trail goes left, and the trail to the left is incredibly obvious and seems like it's the only one there. and then the CDT is faint, not very easy to find, and people put comments in there that it's easy to miss, but this has been like the one section or one day that I haven't done research on every single waypoint, so I was just trying to make miles quickly and just breezed right through it. So now I am like a mile and a half off of the CDT. So if I were to go back and reconnect where I screwed up, I think I would lose about 3 miles, which is over an hour, and I can't really afford that. But this trail just came out to a forestry road, and apparently this forestry road does connect by way of about I found a way to connect it via about 6 different forestry roads. So down on one, left on another, up on one, around on another, and hooking, curving, and really inefficient travel because it's not going in a straight line. But either way, this road can take me all the way to Big Sandy Lodge. So I think that now I'm this far off, I'm just going to commit to these roads and try to get to the lodge. Drawbacks are it's probably most likely slower than the CDT and longer than the CDT because I have to go down, up, and around and every which way. But the benefit would be that since it's road, I can move quite a bit quicker. So there's still water sources on the road via the topo map that I'm using, so I shouldn't have any problems with water. And if I'm on roads the whole time, you know, maybe it'll go pretty smoothly. I have no idea what the condition of those roads are, though. So, bit of a bummer that I missed that junction. Entirely my fault. So I am just going to try to make the best of it and continue forward rather than make up by going back. So, time for an off-trail adventure. Let's see what happens, you know? Get a little frisky out there. See if we can make it without getting lost or eaten by a bear. Looks like my pieced together job is bringing me out towards the basin. I'm not going to go in it, but you know, it's pulling me away from those beautiful mountains over there. But I'll be back soon. I think I just happened upon someone's secret campsite. They even have concrete going for the fire pit. They got a little bit of water trickle back here, some wood. A lot of the supplies look old and rusted, but interesting. The things you find when you start taking forestry roads and then forestry roads off of forestry roads and now bushwhacking. Yes, I'm going to be walking through these woods and this sage because it should save me about a mile, I think. That was officially the best bushwhack I have ever done. I saw a little bit of sage outside of the woods, so I decided to walk through the sage. What do you know, a cow path. Turns out cow path leads right to a fence line, and fence line has a herd path that goes all along it, like most fences do. And as I'm checking GoHook as I'm walking down this fence line, the fence is lined up perfectly with the exact road I need to get to. So I just keep walking and walking, keeps lining up, and this very fence drops me off right on this road, exactly where I need to be, cut off like over a mile. That is just incredible. So even though that bushwhack was really cool, unfortunately I'm just not going to make it to the lodge in time. The mistake I made was insurmountable regardless of which route I took. I thought that this route could get me there quick enough, but I'm not making the time that I'm supposed to. I was scheduled to get to the lodge at 7, and right now I'm scheduled to get there around 8:30. It's 5:30 p.m. and somehow I still have about 10 miles left. So I decided to sit down here and figure out what happened. So I used Google Offline Maps to figure out the actual distance that I've gone and how far I have left to go. And then I used GutHook to figure out how long the distance would be if I backtrack and all that stuff, just as kind of like a post-mortem. I mean, I'm still in the middle of this, but you know, it's officially over. I'm not going to make it to the lodge, so this is a post-mortem. So if I did not make my mistake and I went went correctly on the CDT and did what I was supposed to, then this whole thing would have amounted to about 12 miles from that junction to get there. Making my mistake and then backtracking would take about 15 miles. So I would have lost 3 miles by backtracking. So I decided to go this way, which was, this conglomeration of roads and things like that looked like it could get me a little more directly and a little more quickly to the lodge. And this was about 18 miles, it turns out, on Google Offline Maps. But with the bushwhack that I did, and another shortcut that I did as well, this whole thing actually amounts to about 15 miles. So you take that together, if I had backtracked, it would be 15 miles, and if I'd take this bushwhack and road walk, it'd be 15 miles. So either way, it's the same. So I didn't really make a mistake by going the way I'm going now. But regardless of which decision I made, it was just I made a 3-mile mistake. At least this is a really pretty place to wallow in self-pity. Would you believe that this road is on Google Maps and will give you road directions on this? I reiterate, can you believe that Google calls this a road and will give you directions on it? I mean, I'm pretty confident the last time this road was even used was before Google was even invented. What is going on? Okay, after a series of unfortunate events and then a series of fortunate events.
What a book.
I am now in Big Sandy Lodge in time for beer and food. So, God, how do I break this down? So, last clip, I was on the disappearing road. And on this road, or lack thereof, it turned into absolutely nothing. I finally get into sage, which I'm able to walk through. I had to pop over 3 barbed wire fences. I finally get back onto the road that takes me to this lodge, and I was exhausted, really pissed off, and in not a good mood. And so I take a seat, and I'm thinking about how the fact that I'm not going to make it to the lodge. I'm never going to see Jesus again because he's going to be somewhere else. And I don't even know what I'm going to do for camp tonight. So one single car comes by, the first one, after about 2 minutes of sitting on the road. Actually, I hadn't even sat down yet, so 10, 15 seconds. They pass by, don't think anything of it. All of a sudden, the car stops, pulls in reverse, and comes back up. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're going to check on me. And I see freaking Jesus, that guy, in the back seat. He pops out, and he says that when we got separated, he found a so much easier trail that takes you straight to Big Sandy Lodge. So he got here 2 hours ago, and he was drinking, talking to other people.
Straight to Lander Cutoff Road, which is this road.
Okay, yeah. So he definitely got the win today, and he was on that road and just came straight into here, worked out super well. And then there's the CDT on the other side, and then there's me in the middle, just whacking my way through the whole thing. So, anyways, he says, dude, we need to go get a drink. We need to get some beer and some food before the place closes. So we decided to throw our thumb out and get a hitch. And we got one from this guy named Will with his dog Harper, who passed us at first, but then they decided to turn around and come back, which we're very thankful for. So they picked us up. Brought us over here, and they are still serving food and beer for the moment. So I got my food. I got a Texas Pass burger coming, and then tomorrow morning, Jesus already has a hitch lined up for me to get me back to the place I left off on the road today, so that I can continue my continuous footsteps. I am not going to skip those last 6.5 miles. I want to make sure to walk everything. So tomorrow morning, I will be at a close to 7-mile deficit off of Jesus, and we'll figure out what to do with that. We still don't know what's going to happen, but for now, all we're going to deal with is some beer and some food. This day has turned around mightily. I also forgot to explain that Jesus was in the car heading in the opposite direction. He had already walked the miles that he was supposed to, the proper footsteps, to the bar. And then when he was at the bar, everybody offered to take him to Pinedale if he wanted to, which has a resupply, has Wi-Fi, cell signal, place to charge, all that stuff. So he was just going to go out to Pinedale to do that, and that's when we were probably going to get separated and all that stuff. But when they saw me on the side of the road, instead of going to Pinedale, he decided to hop out and hang out with me. So that was pretty sweet. So yeah, Jesus, no hitching, no shortcuts, nothing like that. And he put in the miles today. My man. Short little tour of the lodge from my seat, because that's all I'm about to do. But there are cabins out there that you can rent. Kind of expensive. Oh, there's Jesus.
Hey.
Hey. And out there is the gorgeous view of Muddy Lake, which is far from muddy, and then the beautiful peaks in the background, of which I don't know the names. But this place is just absolutely gorgeous. The service and people are incredibly nice and helpful, and I'm loving it here. So here's the Texas Pass Burger. We're looking at caramelized onion, bacon, barbecue sauce on a what looks to be a potato bun, toasted, with a side of what's this called? Potato salad. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. What is happening today? Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
It burns so good. I'll wash it down with some beer. I just want to make sure you guys know this. This is not a repeat of the same clip. This is a new clip. Saddle up, Jesus. Alright, now that we're leaving, here's a shot of the lodge that we were just in, eating and drinking. Lake mountains. There's Jesus. Hi, Jesus.
I'm drunk.
We went just past, like a tenth of a mile past the location of the lodge and cabins that are like $150 plus $50 extra for another camper. So we can come to this beautifully flat area that's a little secluded and completely flat, so we can camp out here. All right, it's about time for bed. Got camp set up, and gonna camp here tonight, and then tomorrow I'm planning on redoing those 6.5 miles that I missed, and then we might actually take a hitch out to Pinedale. That's the town that we prepared not to go to because it's so tough to get there via hitch. But Jesus found some people that are already willing to take us all the way there tomorrow morning. So we might take them up on the offer just so we can go to that town and hang out. So we'll figure that out in the morning. For now, stats, I have no idea what the elevation profile was, but the distance, let's see, what would the distance be? I think the distance is about 25 miles the way I went, minus like the 6.5, so did about 20 miles today, maybe more because of all the bushwhacking and stuff like that, but it was really hard fought, and I freaking walked all day. Yeah, so we will pick things up tomorrow. So today is Sunday, August 11th, so see you guys tomorrow.